Hey everyone, well, it's Friday happy hour, and we're going to do a Fresh Crack Friday review. We have a good one. We're going to review Toasted Peerless Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 108.6 proof. This is barrel proof, batch 6. So a few months ago, I did a review of the regular Peerless, really liked it, did a bunch of videos on that. And I said to myself, if I get another Peerless, it was really between the Double Oak and the Toasted. And I happened to see this Toasted Peerless. Believe it or not, it was behind the glass, and it's $83. It's like one of those that you usually think a little more pricey, and some other more exclusive ones are behind the glass. This was in Bottle King for $83. Now, first of all, $83, I think, is a bargain for this because the regular Peerless is $79, and this has an extra process with the toasted barrel, which we'll get into in a minute. Also, I used a gift card for this, so I had like a $50 gift card, so it really felt like, of course. So I said, can you take that out of the glass? I'm like, okay. I really love toasted bourbons. I've been really liking them recently, so this was the one I saw. This was the one I got. I have a Double Oak that I've seen by me, and I kind of leaning more towards this. So we got this one. I think 83, as I said, was a good price. But just really quick, especially when it comes to the Peerless, a Double Oaked and a Toasted. The difference is the Double Oak just uses a second new charred oak barrel. This one, the second barrel, is a toasted barrel, and we'll get into that in a moment. Again, it's 108.6 proof. That's a fairly low barrel proof, but it is. Same thing with the regular Peerless. Kentucky Peerless Distilling Company. It is non-age stated, but it is said to be at least 5 years old. A mash bill is not disclosed, but when I reviewed the regular Peerless, I remember the rye was estimated. I think I looked up between 10 and 20%, but just ranges. Nothing 100%. Non-chill filter is a sweet mash where there's no backset used like in sour mash. This is fresh batch each time. And the way this works is, so this is basically aged. In the first barrel is a regular new charred oak barrel. Level 3 char, which is probably the pretty common one, aged for about 5 years. And then it is put in a second toasted barrel, and that is finished, I'm not sure the amount of time. And the difference, of course, between a charred barrel and a toasted barrel, the charred barrel it's a quick char, it's really intense. This is about 30 to 35 seconds, whereas a toasted barrel is a much more, not as intense flame for a much longer time. So it brings out different flavors. There's different flavors that are going to be kind of come out from a toasted barrel as opposed to a charred barrel. But that's really the difference. And I've really been liking toasted, so here we are. The barrels are also from Kelvin Cooperage. Supposedly they're supposed to put out some really good barrels. And that is, in a sense, everything as far as this. I also love these bottles, but the deal is what's inside it is what really matters, and let's gonna crack it right now. Here we go. Okay, so we got this poured up. That was an excellent cork pop. Fantastic. So before I take the first sip and I give it a nose, what I would expect from this, I'm expecting this is going to be a little bit on the intense side as far as toasted. The regular Peerless small batch I found to be a rather robust, intense pour. I kind of said at the time I thought it would really go good with a cigar. So I'm expecting, since this basically is that same distillate, but further taken a step further in a second, to be finished in a second toasted barrel, I'm thinking you're going to have all of that. Maybe the toasted is going to add some different flavors to it. Maybe mellow it out. I don't know, but let's see. So this is the color. Beautiful color. I'd call that, on your medium, not kind of like very dark. Not dark. Medium to dark, but more on the medium side. Let's give it a nose. Very pleasant. Very, very nice. I'm trying to see if I detect any of that toasted on the scent, because I remember I kind of got that on some other ones. It's 108.6 proof, so nothing crazy going on. All right, let's give it a taste. Cheers. Okay, I totally get that familiar taste when you have a toasted bourbon. I'm going to tell you something. It's mellowing out a little bit. Like I certainly didn't mind the regular Peerless. It's robust. But this is almost like smoothing it out a little bit and adding some additional flavor to it. Let me try this another taste. It's almost like you're getting some extra toasted, that extra toasted vanilla caramel, even I say even some chocolate. Definitely going to do some comparisons with other toasted bourbons. The one I really liked a lot was the Nulu toasted small batch that I had some time ago. Really liked that, and I think that was a similar proof to this. It's just a really good proof point, the 108.6. Also have the Elijah Craig toasted barrel, which I didn't like when I had it the first time at 94 proof. Like it a little more now. I think this has definitely got more full of flavor than that. And then that Whistle Pig, that snout to tail, which really I'm not crazy about. So I would say I'd put this up there, much closer to the Nulu. Maybe not as sweet, but there's so much nice flavor going on in this. I would definitely say it definitely changes the Peerless small batch for me in a good way. It takes that and maybe even mellows it out a little bit, but gives it that extra different and improved flavors from the toasting. Honestly, for me, I mean, as much as I like the Peerless small batch, I think I like this actually better. That was very robust. It was very flavorful, but I think the flavors that are imparted from the second toasted barrel, for me, make this a big improvement. Now, I wonder how this would compare to the double barrel Peerless. For me, I have a feeling that would be probably more intense and maybe more on the oak side, whereas this is more of these sweeter, I think, caramel, vanilla, chocolate, like that, typical kind of toasted notes. Even though it's different proofs, I'm going to compare this with a couple of other ones in a different video. This is a really good bottle, and I think for $83, especially paying a gift card, I think for $83, given the regular Peerless is $79 and the double barrel I see is $89, I think I got a good deal here, considering what just based on what the regular Peerless is. So, have a happy Friday, have a great weekend, and more reviews on this and other bottles to come. Cheers.